It kind of had that swing to it, and so I took on the name Nani Thompson and called the band Nani and the Anis.
Nani was more the sophisticated glamour girl, the torch singer, you know.
There's a feeling in the air, everyone has longer hair. Have you noticed everyone? They're dancing to the drum and though I'm feeling pretty high.
Being in the 80s, it was the glam rock look, I would say. We got signed to a record label while we were there, a small dance label, and called Select Records. And all of my friends had a surplus of Nani and the Ani stickers, and they really became something to talk about. People over and over would spot them. And in fact, lots of times I'd get in the cab and it was already there. So it was a good thing. We were well known in New York.
I remember going to see her perform in New York at the Cat Club. And this would have been mid to late 80s. And she was very big city. She was wearing a leopard print cat suit, actually. You know, by cat suit, what I mean, the kind of thing that we would probably never dare to wear, but she did. And very, very, you know, big city look. Not that kind of rock and roll-y kind of look that she was doing in Nashville.
We cracked the club circuit, which was an amazing thing to do in New York, because for every club there are probably 10,000 bands trying to get in. The girlfriend that came up with, she was in marketing, that came up with the logo, also did marketing for New Woman magazine at the time. And she called me up one day and she said, we're doing an article on women shoplifters. Didn't you once tell me you were a shoplifter, Nani? And I said, actually I had.
My first guest says that for 2 years of her life, shoplifting controlled her. She never knew when she would have an urge so strong that she couldn't stop herself. Welcome, Nani Thompson.
And she said, well, why don't you go on as a former shoplifter and you can promote your band. And I went, okay.
I stole a psychedelic bra, and I had it in my pocket, and I'm walking out, and this woman who looked just like out of Central Casting, she looked just like Angie Dickinson, grabbed me. She said, come on down. You know, she took me downstairs. I was terrified. She took...
Why were you terrified? It happened so many times already.
Because I hate getting caught. It's a drag. You know, it's really, that's not why I'm there. And
so I got on Oprah Winfrey, just winged it, made up these great stories, and plugged Nani and the Anis.
So I decided, you know, that I had to quit, otherwise I'd be in jail forever, you know, and I have a band, Nani and the Anis, and I really wanted to get my life together, and
I said, Nani and the Anis. It got on there. The part that the band didn't appreciate was after that little plug, it ran Nani Thompson, former shoplifter. And that it came off more as the name of the band than Nani and the Anis. So we should have renamed ourselves as former shoplifter.
Organizers billed it as a return to a time of happier vibrations. It was the 5th annual Griffith Park Love-In. All the middle-aged hippies, reformed flower children, and younger 60s revivalists met to hear Girl George and other groups from the Bay Area. There were only about 100 of them today, keeping alive the spirit of the 60s as they gathered in a natural setting near the merry-go-round to let the good times roll.
Lit candles and brought flowers as part of their peace vigil. Among those attending, members of the anti-war group Alliance for Survival.
I guess people love John Lennon for so many different reasons. It's just hard to even imagine. I think if he were alive today, he would say we're much closer to that dream of peace.
Members of this group have been gathering twice each year, every year since Lennon was assassinated in December 1980. Once on the anniversary of Lennon's birth, again on the anniversary of his death.
This is one of the old things from 1989 that's been going on for 5 years now. Got a put up the flags and the posters. We've got these from going back different years. We've been doing this for about 5 years now. This is the 6th annual one. And it started out as a joke in the Weekly. The LA Weekly ran a joke saying that there was a love-in, and I just come from San Francisco, so I believed them. So I called all my friends and said, hey, there's a love-in at the park. So we came out here with our kids and our dogs and a picnic, and we came out here and they said, oh, it's a joke. We said, well, we don't care, we'll do it anyway. So we set up and started playing, and everybody else came and said, hey, this is neat. And there was about 100 of us, and we said, well, let's do it every year. So every year I put out flyers and send them out and put out about 1,000 flyers, and we do it again, and it gets bigger and bigger. And it's just a party. You know, there ain't no bandstands, no permits, no badges, no speeches. Everyone does what they want to do. They bring their own instruments, they play with each other, the kids come and play with, you know, each other with the dogs and stuff. The hippies come out from the valley, and people come down from Oregon for this, and it's just fun. It's just a picnic for all us old hippies and the young hippies and whatever. Love it! Sixth annual Love-In at Griffith Park. We're just starting out here. By the time the day ends, we'll have millions or billions of people here. The head shop should be arriving any moment now. Some of my favorite people, Captain Ed and them.
Visit the 60s today. You didn't have to go any further than Griffith Park. That's where about 100 people held the 8th annual Griffith Park Love-In.
This is my first time to a Love-In. Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a hippie?
Yes, sir, I do. Just kind of leftover one, but a happy one.
What do you miss most about the 60s?
Looking as good as I did then.
Well, let me just tell you this. I remember when I went to Florida to see her, right? Because at this time, she had become Nani Thompson, okay?
I know who you are.
She kept reinventing herself. You know, that was really cool about her. You know, they flew me down there. They gave me, money, what they call a per diem and all this kind of stuff. And we were to write, and I was to help her with her recording session. I got off the plane. I was looking for her as she was. But when I got there, she was like a star. She had none of that image that I remembered about her existed, because first of all, she was really suave, really, hair done and face done, and makeup, and I almost walked right by her. And she hollered my name, Thomas, Thomas. And we got in, then we left out, and we got in this Mercedes, and I tell you what, it had a drop top on it, and we went out to, I think it was Bell Harbor Island, and we went into this incredible home that she was staying with, that her boyfriend, I guess, at the time, owned. We wrote until we got enough tunes well, not to complete the album, but in addition to songs that made up a part of the album. That was the last time I saw her.
'Cause I'm a